everyone, this is CricketSong with Lunar Wisdom, and this video is going to be another tarot spread. This one is going to be for Cancer. The subtitle, I Feel. Okay, so you can find this tarot spread as well as the others in this series in this book, Illustrated Tarot Spreads by Filner and Schreiner. This particular spread, Cancer, I Feel, can be found on page 84. Cancer, the zodiac sign of Cancer, the crab, right? This spread has 8 cards. 8 cards. So we're going to be addressing feelings here. The first card, this card right here, number 1, where do I come from? Number 2, what are my dreams? Number 3, how is my current home? Card number 4, this is how I see my father. Card number 5, this is my need for security. Card number 6, how do I express my feelings? Card number 7, how caring am I? And the last card, card number 8, how is my mediumistic ability? Or, my ability to be a medium. That interests me. Okay, so let's check this out. We're using the Rider-Waite Tarot here. We're going to flip over the cards and then we'll do an interpretation, right? So card number 1, where do I come from? Card number 2, what are my dreams? Card number 3, how is my current home? Card number 4, how do I see my father? Card number 5, what is my need, or this is my need for security? Card number 6, how do I express my feelings? Card number 7, how caring am I? And card number 8, how is my mediumistic abilities? Mediumistic, it's a weird word, but whatever. Okay, first card, card number 1, where do I come from? Well, okay, actually, before we look at the individual cards, 8 cards, 2 are major arcana cards, 2 are cups, 1 is a pentacle, 1 is a sword, and 2 are wands. Everything is, and there's a court card. So everything is represented here. All the elements are represented, the major arcana are represented, and there is a court card. So this has it all. 2 major arcana cards tell me that there is, out of 8 cards, there's only 2 major arcana. So this would say that in these 2 spots, these 2 traits or characteristics or situations are the most profound in the reading. The first card is a major arcana, and card number 7, how caring am I, is a major arcana card. So where do I come from and how caring am I? For this individual, we'll call this individual Anne. Anne is someone who is really concerned about how caring she is and where she comes from. So I might take more time if I were actually sitting in front of Anne or doing this reading for a particular person to really explore these 2 spots a little more deeply than the others, because there may be something worth really getting deep into. But for the purpose of this reading, because it's just a sample reading, we're just going to not spend as much time as I guess I would. And I'd want some conversation back and forth with the individual. So, Temperance, where do I come from? Temperance talks to me about patience and understanding, sort of like the slow burning wick. It takes a long time for this person really to be pushed to the edge. They're really patient with things, with themselves, with other people. This patience may lead to procrastination if it's not careful kind of situation. So Anne is a very patient person and really will persevere if in struggles. They're not impatient, you know. So the second card, what are my dreams? And that is the 10 of Cups. So I would suggest that, you know, cups are emotions. They're relationships with other emotional beings. It's the 10 of the suit, which talks to me about completion. So I would suggest that Anne's dream is to have family, have relationships, deep, meaningful relationships with other people. And she wants, you know, more than one. She wants sort of like a family. Now, whether this is an actual biological family or if she's just, you know, she wants to have friends who are family to her. I don't necessarily think this is just restricted to blood family, meaning she may want children, may want a spouse and children, or she just might want to have people who around her that are her family and not necessarily blood. Card number 3, we're going around here. So card number 3 is, how is my current home? So we see the 9 of Swords reversed. So the 9 of Swords, if it was upright, would talk to me about tension, anxiety. It would talk to me about, you know, the image itself speaks to me about headaches and sleepless nights, situations where it's difficult to really get rest or relaxation, unable to heal from any sort of emotional or physical distress, but it's reversed. So I would suggest then here that that was the situation in the home, but things are shifting, things are changing. There is still underlying tension and stress, but it's not as prominent as it was. So something is changing within the home that is shifting the energy for the better, but there is still that underlying tension and current. So I would say that in the past, things were really horrible, but they seem to be getting better. Card number 4, which is this one. This is how I see my father. So the King of Pentacles, when I do readings, the court cards represent specific energies or individuals. They represent the energy of a situation personified or actual spiritual entities or physical people. And the kings, when I read, tend to be more masculine, more projective energy that is doing something or, you know, being projected outward. So this is a very masculine energy for me. So I would suggest that, you know, Anne here sees her father as masculine energy, projective energy, someone who does things, someone who is a problem solver, because we see the pentacles and that represents earth. So he's a physical person, he's a practical person. He looks at the world and wants to fix problems in a physical way. He's not an intellectual person, he's a physical person. When I think of physical people in my own life, I think of my son. He's a very physical person, while my husband is a very intellectual person. So I would suggest that Anne here sees her father, although it's reversed. So if it was upright, Anne sees her father as a very masculine, practical, physical person, mature because he's a king. Takes responsibility, is loyal, is trustworthy. These are all the things that I would use to describe a King of Pentacles in the upright position. Because we see it reversed, I feel like, or I see in this reading, that something has occurred either within her father's life or within her relationship with her father, where he was this to her and now is not. Something happened to him or between the two of him that he is no longer in that position. Something has shifted, something has changed. He is not stable. He is not secure. She cannot trust him. She does not feel that he is loyal to her, nor is she loyal to him. He is a mature individual, but doesn't act like a mature individual. He was responsible, but is no longer responsible. He was a very physical person. He is no longer physical. I might even suggest, because we see something here, something may have happened in the home where her father may have taken ill, and that caused stress, and now there's no longer stress because he's on the mend, but he is not the man he was before. Perhaps he had a heart attack or a stroke or a battle with cancer, something like that. I feel like something occurred with him that created this disruption in his life. And I feel like it was a physical, maybe he was in a car accident, something like that. The next card I would suggest is, this is my need for security. So that is this card here, the Nine of Wands. I actually feel like this is definitely giving us more information about the situation with Anne. The Nine of Wands talks to me about doing things, getting things ready for an emergency, or just in case something falls out. It's sort of getting your ducks in the row, getting our defenses up, getting things moved and prepared because of the next step. And that's what I see in the Nine of Wands. Anne is preparing for something. So I almost feel like, because of what's going on, her need for security is because of what has happened to her. Maybe this experience with her father has caused her to see and be a witness or be a part of an experience that now has her getting things ready for herself, just in case something were to happen for her. That's her need for security. The next card, card number 6, is, this is how I express my feelings. Card number 6 here is the Ace of Cups reversed. I actually feel like Anne doesn't express her feelings, or she just dumps them. I almost feel like there is so much that she has repressed here that when she has the opportunity to express them, everything comes up. It's almost like emotional vomit that occurs. And I feel like there's no filter. She is hypersensitive when the dam is, when it just breaks and everything just overflows. And I feel like this could cause problems or challenges in her relationships, because it's just like she waits, and it overflows, and she dumps it, and she's empty again, and then she can fill it up again. Card number 7, how caring am I? The Judgment card is here. A Major Arcana card. I feel like the Judgment card talks about her repressing, again, her feelings. When she has a feeling, she tends to second guess it. She tends to judge it. She tends to judge other people's feelings, and she's aware of this. So I almost feel like there is these quick assumptions that she makes, and sometimes, again, that can lead to issues and challenges for her. I also feel like she has this sense of the ability to sort of redeem oneself, though. So it's sort of this complicated mix of being super hypersensitive and then sort of judging herself for being hypersensitive, and then trying to balance it out with maybe allowing people to dump on her and then judging them for doing that. It's kind of this complicated judgment and coldness and repressed emotion, and then times where she's oversharing and oversensitive. And then the last card is card number 8. How is my mediumistic ability? Card number 8 is the Three of Wands, and this suggests that there is definitely potential there. She sees it, she senses it, but she hesitates. She's afraid. The 3 represents sort of the body, mind, spirit, or 3 aspects of oneself. She has everything aligned, and she sees what she could do, but there is fear that stops her from actually jumping into it. So she keeps it repressed. That's how I would read that. So I'm going to now share with you the Green Witch Tarot. And we are going to compare what it might look like if you had used the Green Witch Tarot in this reading. A lot of these cards, yeah, that one goes there. Nope. This one goes here. I would not change the meaning. It doesn't change the meaning too much for me. But let's take a look. Three of Wands. And then this one is here. So, I mean, that I'd read the same, that I'd read the same. This one might change a little bit, and Judgment would change. And maybe this one. So, the Nine of Athames I read more as sort of staying in the darkness. Well, yeah, that's basically the same thing I said. So, the major arcana cards I would change a little bit. So the Temperance card becomes the She. And the She is the Fae. So I would read the first card, Where Do I Come From? I would suggest that this talks about you come from Fae. You have a very connection to the earth energy as well as the spiritual and the elemental realms. You have a very strong intuitive nature, and you have a very strong connection to the natural world around you. So that would come out with Patience, but that changes it a lot. And then the other major arcana becomes, the Judgment becomes Harvest. And I would read this, and this is How Caring Am I? This, I would say, you know, you understand your position when it comes to emotions. You understand your emotions, even though you may repress them, but you feel that people reap what they sow. So you feel that if people are caring, then they will receive caring. If you feel people are cold, then they will receive cold, and you apply this to yourself. So that's a little different read. Not a huge difference, but a little bit of a difference. So that's what I got for you this week. If you decide to do this reading for yourself, please share how it goes. If you do a video, I'd love to watch it. So share the link with me. And until next week, I love you. Mwah. Blessed be.